Burgers, and beans. So yeah, we're back. And I don't know really how to make an intro to this. I should just make an intro video soon, huh? Because I feel like it's just boring if I just, if I just say like, oh, welcome. Since the last video, if you haven't watched it, we made an album review on Tyler, the Creator's Don't Tap the Glass. I don't mean to like kind of just make a continuation because I feel like I've just want to do something and leave it there and then. I don't want to bring it back unless I have to. I feel like it's a cool video idea to, look at the people's uh, opinions, reviews on what they left on the album. And I'm just going to react to them and see what I think. This is probably not the most pro-efficient website to use or maybe accurate, but I'm going to use Reddit. Reddit has a lot of haters though. Sometimes I'll be going on Reddit just to like look at different stuff. They be hating. It's worse than Yelp. This is off of the Reddit section of Anthony Fantano's Don't Touch the Glass review, and he also rated it 8, and I didn't even know. I was like, damn, I should check what he put like right after I recorded and everything. Dude, he made it 8 too, so maybe I'm not glazing, bro. Like, that probably was though. I gotta stop saying I realized I've been saying that a lot, and it was kind of bugging me when I was editing it. I gotta read a book, bro. But yeah, so we're gonna check out these, reviews of what these motherfucker. Someone called Floopy Kid 3 months ago, but I was in a lukewarm on. What does that mean? Lukewarm? Showing a little enthusiasm. Oh damn. Yeah, you see, I really got to read books. I was lukewarm on Chromacopia. Had this realization that Tyler's introspective thoughts don't really resonate with me. So him focusing more on the production and as opposed to deep lyrics on here was refreshing. I'll Take Care of You was one of the most ethereal songs. Bro, these people are hella sophisticated. I've heard this past year. This album is like everything he learned from Igor, Cherry Bomb, and Flyboy, and he just lasered it on a melody over lyrics. I think every album is just something that Tyler kind of, which is kind of crazy. He just learns from what he made from the past albums, so every album just keeps on getting better and better, in my opinion. Actually, no, I don't think this latest album wasn't the best one, so I can't really say because it kind of contradicts what I'm saying from before. But yeah, I do think it's everything that he learned from Igor, Cherry Bomb, and Flyboy, and he just lasered it in a melody over lyrics, and it's pretty clear with that. And I think it's just something that just makes that more different. It kind of adds everything, like his whole his different personalities into just one album, which is cool. And it's an interesting perspective because I never really thought about that until like right now when I was reading it. I was like, oh damn, like I could connect the dots with it. And then someone put Transportation Away 59 said, I like to see Tyler explore the sound more in a fully fleshed out album. Feels like he's experimenting and never quite nailed some of the more melodic aspects, but the vision is there. I could see it, kind of. I think it's not something he's experimenting with. I think it could be. I'm obviously I'm not Tyler, but it could be. But what it sounds like, it doesn't sound like he's experimenting with it. This one's kind of a thinker though too, because it doesn't sound like he's experimenting with it, but it also sounds like he's comfortable around it. He knows what he's doing. But who knows? Maybe he is still experimenting. Maybe his next album just might be something similar to this. But I don't think he's gonna make another album like this. Not for a while. He doesn't really like to stick to trend, or it's not trends, but like stick to the same thing. He wants to switch it up because if you listen to every other different album, it's different with the melodies and everything. I don't know. It's kind of weird for me. I don't know how to explain it, but that's what I kind of just think. Hell Chicken 949 said, honestly, Chromacopia, I'm thankful we have a much more digestible album. I do like Chromacopia, but it suffers with the same problems of something like Mr. Morale. For me, where it doesn't have as much replayability. I also like Don't Tap the Glass because it's much more energetic, in my opinion. I could see that. I think Chromacopia is probably the least, I can't say the least replayed album fully because I do like a lot of Tyler's albums that I replay with, but I think this is probably the only album that I don't replay it fully. I'll play some songs on the album, like I'll replay it, but not the whole album at once, which is kind of like crazy to think about because Don't Tap the Glass, I've been kind of replaying that for a little bit, but I also think it's kind of gonna die down on me. It sucks to say, but makes me sound like a hypocrite with my rating that I gave it an 8, because if it's an album that I think Don't Tap the Glass is gonna be something I'm just gonna, you know, slowly die off of, I should probably switch the rating. Someone called CG, Saijeezy. Dude, what if these are like cultural names and I'm just butchering the hell out of them and people are thinking I'm like a racist? My wife doesn't listen to rap. I told her I heard it was supposed to be a vibey dance type of album. Hadn't listened to it yet. She got excited, threw it on the first thing she heard, and was eat the cream pie in the back seat. I think this album is a little too abrasive to be what Tyler wants to be, lol. The last 3 tracks are fun though. Yeah, I do agree. I do agree that the last 3 tracks are pretty fun. I think it's just because it's more out of the ordinary, not really too. You could dance to it, but it's not as energetic as the other ones. It's just more of just to sit and listen and, you know, kind of retain what's going on. Cercio replied with, I don't think a song comes on that you could actually dance to until Ring Ring Ring. Really? Big Po beats and flow slap, just don't listen to the lyrics and it's easy to dance to. Not even Sucker Free. Yeah, like Sucker Free is pretty cool. Big Po's a really nice one, bro. I don't know about Ring Ring Ring. I think Ring 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 is one of the ones that I wouldn't really dance to. Actually, no, it's a good one, but it's still pretty cool. I don't know. I mean, to each their own, you know. Ovo Zorro said, I really love the sound of the album, but some of the freaky lyricism is starting to make my eye roll. I know that is a big part of Tyler's music, but shit, like, eat that cream pie in the back seat. It gets to a point, you know. And then someone, I mean, I guess, but it's just, I think part of the eroticism. Fuck, that's a big word. Is that even a word, bro? Eroticism. So I sound dumb. Like I said, it's more of like I think there's erotic featured elements in there. But yeah, I think that's just the whole point. It's to kind of bug people, annoy them. I think that's just his whole point. His whole goal was to annoy people who think it's weird, because that's what it is supposed to be. It's supposed to be weird, you know? Kind of just erotic, kind of awkward, and it's just like that. Beneficial Candle 10 said, I like this a lot. Great production, super catchy melodies, and very fun array of quirky and energetic deliveries. Not surprised it's divisive though. Funny seeing people clutch their pearls over the horny bars. Y'all boring if those are too much for you. Also confused that people are saying that this isn't a dance music. Y'all need to tap into the actual history of dance music. LOL, clearly a wide variety of dance music inspirations and emulation on this album. Like I said, or I don't know if I said this, but it's just an album that's meant to have fun for like the weird people, and people think it's corny or kind of weird when he talks about like sexual bars, you know. But yeah, I get like if people think it's too much, but you know, it's just one of those things where it's supposed to be weird, but it's just something that it can't be normal, which I kind of like. They don't want to be normal, because why do you want to be normal? Why do you want to fit in? Penny Soul Pencilvaster, bro, what the some people seem unnecessarily down on this album, like it's meant to be of any Igor or Call Me If You Get Lost. I think it's just meant to be short and fun package to inject a little more energy into its crowds while touring. Couple Copy, I'm pretty sure he came up with it and recorded on tour. Like, okay, the lyricism isn't crazy, but I don't think that's the whole point. I doubt his fans mid-show will care. Oh yeah, I don't want to seem repetitive, and it's just the same thing I keep saying over and over again, but it's just a weird album. Alright, let's look for something that is hating. Boba Fettuccine, that's a cool name. Said, I like some of his music, but after all these years, I can't help but feel a little cringe saying out loud that I'm listening to a Tyler album. That's kind of crazy, but it makes perfect sense why it feels like that, because it's more different. It's probably not a lot of people's cup of tea, which I kind of understand and see. My bad, it fell. I have it taped on like my speaker to like have a good like proportion posture or whatever, but I guess it just falls. Honestly, like if you're barely realizing that, bro, you probably haven't been listening to Tyler for that long if you're gonna be thinking like that, because all his album, like his when he started making music, it was always weird, you know. And if you're barely figuring out that it's just a little cringe, a little weird, you're just not pretty much normalized to what he's used to making. Dude, like listen to Bastard at that point, bro. You'll fucking feel out of place. But yeah, Reddit seems like most of them are liking it. Oh, this one sounds like he's mad. Oh. So Tyler Shadow dropped this album like a finesse jump scare. Just 10 months after Chromacopia, leaving everyone beyond confused. Everyone had a different opinion on what Don't Tap the Glass would be: an EP, a no concept mixtape, or a B-sides compilation. Literally nobody was in agreement over this album. That's kind of funny. Turns out Tyler was working on this out of boredom on tour from January to July and thought to release it for a bit of laugh. I'm happy it was advertised the way it was, because we all got our hopes up for a high quality LP. I'm sure the user score would be 60 right now. The way I'm viewing this is a decent crop of throwaway tracks that doesn't take itself all that seriously, like the track Momonym, which features the rising beeping synth accompanied by a cool bass drop and Tyler's vocals. Really nothing extraordinary, but I feel like it's a cool track to bust down to, and turn to, especially the it out spit it out outro. Oh, is that when it transitions to fucking Stop Playing With Me? I think that's what it is. You could say the same shebang about every track. Ring 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 sounds like a estate sale B-side with a really addictive hook and some nice piano chords. Sucker Free is this weird sparky smooth song where Tyler manipulates his voice to sound a little like draft punk roboticness. The real standout for me, however, is the Daydream-esque track I'll Take Care of You. That's what it is. It's perfectly described, like a daydream. This came out of nowhere, completely throwing off the dance-up beat theme of everything that took place before, delivering a somber, reflective beat like something from a whole Pokemon games. Yeah, I think it's safe to say that this is Tyler's worst. I like how he kind of just hates on it at the end of the fucking rating. It's safe to say this is Tyler's worst addition to music so far, maybe excluding the Grinch album, but I view it like Tyler's. We live in a society where it was just made for fun. Yeah, not really made to take too seriously. So I think if it was taken as a serious album, because obviously I don't think it was taken seriously, because if you think about it, it wasn't made in that 2-year mark that he usually drops every album. It was literally 10 months, not even a whole year, 10 months after he dropped Chromacopia. I think that's just, if it was a real album, I think people would be shitting on it, saying like, what the fuck is this, like, you serious? But, and I could say the same thing, I would probably be like that anyways. And then this guy put, one of Tyler's best projects yet. Why the fuck are you rating a 64, gang? The production is a lot more interesting and less boring than usual, especially in the second half, and Tyler's vocals lyrics don't make a facepalm and cringe. They don't feel unnecessary theatric like most of his other stuff. Way more memorable than usual. Some of the songs are quite energetic and fun, which is also unlike what I usually get from Tyler's music. The lyrics are for once not annoying and over the top too, which is great. Now, I don't love this by any means, mostly because of a really weak 3 tracks. The project really only started picking up with Stop Playing With Me, but even after that, there were some songs that were total snooze fest. Okay. They weren't bad by any means, just kind of boring and filler. Having a 10 track album, the fat should be trimmed out as much as possible, and that's not really the case here in my opinion. Still though, I relatively enjoyed this. Most definitely enjoyed it more than a Chromacopia. It's not really even close. I can vibe with this for the most part. I found around 3 songs to really click with me, which isn't bad for the 10 track Tyler the Creator album, and really for the Tyler Creator album. Favorite tracks: Stop Playing With Me, Don't Tap the Glass, Tweaking, Tell Me What It Is. Least favorite tracks: Sucker Free, Don't Worry Baby, Big Post, Sugar on My Tongue. Really? I can see Sucker Free. Don't Worry Baby, that one's a kind of a good one, bro. Don't Tap the Glass, I could disagree with that part, bro. But Tweaking was cool. Tell Me What It Is a good one too. Stop Playing With Me is cool. Big Po's a good one too. Pharrell's verse, you know, like Pharrell's verse game. He says this is his favorite album. Like, come on, really? Like, this is your favorite album? Like, I get it, it's a good album, but this is your favorite album? I don't think it's his best album, bro. Oh, someone put a 15. Gang. He even added emojis in this. At the end of it says bad album. Just woke up, went straight to the shower, hopped out of that, and went straight to this album. Going track for track with this COS. Oh, with this because the excitement is real. I have no idea what I'm getting myself into. If these are bars that catch my ear, I will quote them. Wait, 10 minutes left. Damn. I'm in South Africa, so this drops midday at 12 p.m. Okay, it's out. Let's do this. The beat for Big Po is so groovy and reminds me of some old hip-hop beats, which is not an era of hip-hop I'm not fond of that much. The feature low-key outperformed Tyler, and I'm not even sure who it is. Sounds like Bruiser Wolf if he was suicidal. What the fuck? The track didn't even move enough to like it though. I don't trust white people with dreadlocks. I really don't like you don't like that? I really don't like Sugar on My Tongue. The chorus is straight ass and the verses are just there to be there. The beat had nothing to do with it too. Complete miss with this one. Sucker Free has good hook with good verses, but feels really safe. Although I'm not a fan of him, this track was perfect for Vince Staples. Mom M just comes and goes. It needs to be longer. Why did it not turn into a full track? Stop Playing With Me gives me this album. Stop Playing With Me gives this album its first like from me. It's good, nothing crazy, but just what the album needed at this point. Ring 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 sounds like a leftover from Flower Boy. Continues some of the sounds he was going for on the album, but without the slick execution. I was just waiting for the track to end, and I heard him make tracks like this way better. Don't Type of Class is pure energy and is my favorite so far. Why are people saying it's their favorite and then rating it like terrible? It continues some of the sounds he was going for the album, but without the slick execution. Okay. Don't Type of Class is pure energy, blah blah blah. I'm not sure about the beat switch and the whole tweaking part though, not for me. Agreed. Why did he have to put these tracks together? I would have added it in my my playlist if it wasn't for the second part. Oh, he doesn't like the second part, bro. I don't like the first. U49 and Still in the Street. Your prostate exam is in a week. Don't worry. You worry is basically not Tyler's song at the point. The chorus was not good at the point where you should repeat it over and over. I liked it at first, but didn't at the end. Neither is I'll Take Care of You. What the hell? Again, he isn't even on this for fuck's sake. This is 10 tracks and you. This is 10 tracks and you MIA for 2 of them. Completely doing this is justifiable in long albums, but not something short like this. Tell Me What It Is. Definitely a leftover off Comicopia. I didn't like this album that much, but this song stands hands and shoulders above anything here in the pure quality. I'm really listening to Stop Playing With Me, and it completely grown off of me. I think liking it that early in the album was based off a feeling of hope, of excitement with this album. Not anymore. After all the excitement, this is the album I get. I'm convinced these are all leftovers, were never good enough to make any of the projects before, and I can see why. This album is basically Tyler throwing shit out on the wall, hoping something sticks. Bad album. This fool hated it. I think he was just being sarcastic when he said this is by far his favorite. I don't think this was his favorite at all. It don't sound like it was his favorite. My final thoughts on this? This guy just doesn't like the album. I think he just doesn't know that it was just made to, just to have fun. And he made it in while he was on tour, so it wasn't something too crazy that he was trying to work with. And he didn't really have a lot, and you could tell he didn't have too much of his recordings, his setups and everything. It was probably just him and his laptop and just making beats and everything. So, it's still good. He kind of proves that if that is the case, proves that you can still do shit with just a laptop and your voice. So it's cool. I'm gonna end it off here, but it was cool. It was interesting to see what people thought about it, and I'm very curious of what you guys think about this album, because I would like to know. But if you agree with my opinion, if you don't agree with my opinion, even with the stuff that I just read right now, if you agreed with, I replied with, and I hope you guys enjoy this, and hope you subscribe, like, and I'll be back for another one.
Up late night, work late, no date nights. You give them hell, girl, just like a cage fight.